Okay. So today we are going to create our third and final conic section, which means tomorrow and Wednesday we will do notes over it, and all 3 conic sections will be on your 6 weeks test next week.
Hey, when are we testing?
Yes. I don't know yet.
We'll be gone the 15th holiday.
Okay.
Not a lot. I think I don't know how many of us are going.
Oh, I'm good.
It's okay. Okay.
So, if she's not coming, I'm not coming.
National Gift Day.
Yeah, what day is it? Okay, guys, let's just not come.
Oh, you messed me up.
So we are creating our final conic section today,
When's your birthday again?
the 14th,
What day is it?
next Wednesday. So the first thing we are going to do is create a circle on our wax paper.
I know any circles.
Like any size? Are you serious?
Just like last time, any size as long as it fits on your paper.
Well, it's got to be in the center for me. All right.
Jesus Christ.
And it's going to be one of those days. There's supposed to be a way to lock these in place.
I find that the moment I rule out a day as being good, that's whenever it starts getting bad.
Emily. Did you bring your script?
Oh no, it could still be a good day.
No,
It's just going to be...
but I have to go home. I don't have an 8th period.
Yeah, I know. I was just making sure. Just bring it in your bag or something, or keep it in your car.
Yeah, no, I just forgot. I was already running late.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
We don't have time.
They're not coming.
Emily?
Oh no. When I quit volleyball, I got out of that. Because tennis is not a team sport.
Oh, they're changing that, by the way. The new athletic
Oh,
director.
yeah.
Wait, so we have to do it next year?
I don't know.
I need to go chat with him.
Oh my gosh. there's
So
a
we are
thing.
going to draw a circle with center O. So we are going to label the center of our circle O.
I borrowed him with shadow.
Circle isn't working out for me.
Yeah.
I'm the Bob.
I should not have PTSD from my days of the war.
In the middle, right in the middle?
I'm an ROTC.
Yes. Label the center of your circle O.
Oh, Rochelle, this ain't going to work very good.
You don't have a pen? I'm sorry.
I don't have a pen.
I got nothing to pay back.
I respect that.
You're cool, you can borrow a pen.
Let me use my old.
Then locate and mark a point outside of the circle F. So find some point outside of your circle and call it F.
Circle's too big for that.
Okay, so now, just like when we were forming our ellipse, we are going to trace F along the circumference of our circle. So we're going to fold F down to the circumference of our circle, and we're going to crease. And you're going to do that 20 to 30 times all the way around the circle.
That's what's up.
Hang on now, I just finished my circle. Give me
I
a
didn't
minute.
know our circle's gonna be that big.
What are we doing?
I'm sorry.
Do you put dash marks along the
Big
circle?
old circle.
No.
This,
We're just
I
gonna
have another
Okay.
thing.
If you've got F outside of your circle, you're going to fold F down so that it lines up with this outside of your circle,
Just do what she's doing.
and you're going to crease your paper.
Can you throw me another Sharpie? Or something
Okay.
Sorry, I have PTSD from.
And then you're going to just keep moving your point along the outside of your circle, increasing.
We just.
Where do we make the point?
And then I have to increase it half and half.
Anywhere outside of the circle.
So once I figure like outside of it, then I crease it again.
Yep. Over and over and over, all the way around your circle.
Thank you, Miss. I'm eternally grateful for this marker.
Hey, you watch your language. What? Looking at
One.
deputy director. No. Very good.
Huh?
I don't think it's going the way I'm supposed to do.
I know.
Yeah.
Why would I do that? I'm going to open gym. What the hell is it?
Baby, you don't know.
I'm not going
Why?
to.
Aren't you going to the next thing?
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you go to practice?
As long as I can practice school.
Because you what?
I can't practice my event here.
You can?
I was worse than you.
Why not?
She goes to like a Friday mix.
Oh.
Yeah.
On Friday.
You guys supposed to be, what? It's supposed to be talking crap.
Oh,
Yeah.
coaches like multiple or?
They were talking crap about you? Huh? No, I don't. I just open it and close it to get rid of the notification.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah.
You tell us.
They made a comment. Me. Cause it had to go all around.
Yeah, you want to go all the way around.
Yeah, you think they'd be happy.
Yeah, mine looks like a bunch of chickens with scratch on it.
I'm so scared I'm doing this wrong.
Don't be scared.
Okay.
For the only thing we have to do is fear itself.
So true.
As long as you are moving F along the circumference of the circle and folding your paper with each move, you're good.
None of my alarms went off this morning. Like I kind of.
Oh no, I just have that anxiety towards life.
Did you set this with PM instead of AM?
No, they're the same ones that have to all day.
Dude, sometimes mine does that.
I just left the room.
No, because my mom didn't hear it either. She was like,
You know, sometimes I hear my alarm and I see it and I turn it off and then I go back to sleep.
That's me every morning.
That's what's up.
On ways that she can start judging really harshly on notes.
well, we didn't have any over the weekend. I'm good.
Oh my God, that was so nice, not having anything. That was literally the first time all year we haven't had homework on Wednesday.
When you said that, you want this?
I've never taken an advanced history class ever in my life. And I'm happy about that.
Yes, she is.
Because the way y'all talk about it, y'all make it sound like so much extra work.
What?
It is.
What are you talking about?
I've never taken an advanced history class.
You don't want to.
No, I didn't weird
Well, last year there wasn't one. So.
Yeah,
Yeah, so last year, different story.
Did I take it one last year?
Yeah, it was basically just not fair.
Really?
So once you've completed your folds, we are going to, as we have been doing, trace out the curve that we have created.
I think I'm done.
Are you even starting the creek?
Does yours look like
Turn all the way
mine?
around?
Today's curve is two-sided.
Yeah, look at that.
Wait,
Wasn't freezing, right?
Maybe not, but I see a little curve.
The rabbit was supposed like that, man.
That's because this is not a parabola.
Oh, hyperbola.
that isn't English.
Parabola?
What is that? Some sort of
I know, it sounds like
disease?
Okay, so the next thing we are going to do, oh, is everybody with me? Do we all have our curves? Okay.
Oh, geez. Oh.
Yeah, I don't think I finished yet. That is okay.
How do you draw so straight of a line? It's all crazy.
Practice.
We draw it along the curve that doesn't happen.
Oh.
You should be able to see the curve along the folds.
That's what's up. This looks kind of cool though. I'm gonna hang this up on my fridge.
As long as you've got it for your 6 weeks test next week.
How do I do this?
Okay, so now we are going to mark 2 points on the curve and we are going to call them P and T. They can go anywhere.
Sorry, miss, I put Sharpie in her desk. By accident.
I'll clean it. So 2 points, P and T. They can go anywhere. I put mine on opposite sides. That's not necessary. It's just to prove that I can. I think we're still going to be writing on it. Hold on to it. So now we are going to start doing our measurements. So we're going to break out our ruler.
Okay.
The first thing we are going to measure is from P to O. I prefer to measure in inches. You may measure in whatever you like, as long as you measure everything in the same unit.
Okay, so I can't do one in inches and then the next one in feet.
Correct.
What if I just really like feet?
I got 2 inches and a quarter.
Mine's at about 1 1/4. That's PO. And then you are going to measure from P to F.
I borrow that pen.
Then you are going to measure from T to O. And then from T to F. Then you're going to subtract. So you're going to take PO minus PF, or in my case, I'm going to do PF minus PO, because that's my longer distance.
So how was y'all's Easter? Yeah, let's hear it. What do you understand? How was your Easter this past year?
It's pretty good. And then we're going to take TO minus TF.
Damn.
That was pretty good. We did an egg hunt and played outside.
You did an egg hunt? I haven't done one of those in like 5 years, and honestly, kind of mad about it. I miss hunting eggs.
You were subtracting.
Can anyone do an egg hunt besides this festival? Invite me to the next one. I want to go. Well, it's all search high schoolers, so we all did it. Me, Lorenzo.
He called into work and they were so mad.
Really?
Yeah, because he was supposed to close.
Who closed?
The other cook, we only had 2 cooks on.
So hopefully when you subtracted yours, they came out equal. One of my measurements was off because there's about a 1/16 of an inch difference in my differences, but they should have been equal.
Where'd you get the 2 and 4 over 16?
Because I had 2 1/4 and I needed to subtract 15 over 16. So I got a common denominator by multiplying the 1 over 4 by 4 over 4.
One of mine is negative.
As long as their absolute value comes out the same, that's fine.
Oh, my brain doesn't do math well on Monday mornings. I'm not kidding. I don't know why. I will use the
So what figure has been formed by the creases? What did I tell you this is called?
Wait, I got it. Don't tell me. Don't say it yet.
Hyperbola.
Hyperbola. Not to be confused with hyperbole, which is an English term.
David was right.
I said hyperbola.
Well, you were close.
What points seem to be the foci of this curve? Where is this curve focused?
O and F.
O and F. Good. What line would give us our axis of symmetry?
O and F.
Good, line OF. So if I put a line through OF,
I was thinking about what you said the other day when you were like, even whenever students get it wrong, I still try to make it seem like they got it right. And you know what? I was starting to think back to some of the stuff I said. And you know what? I don't feel as smart as I once did.
you are every bit as smart as you think you are.
Also, Miss Crawford, even when you get an answer right, she makes you feel like you got it wrong. Even when she's, even whenever she's like, yes, you did. She adds a long pause.
She's like, yes. She's like, but did you think about it this way? What if it were to be this way? How does it make you feel?
Like I'll answer it, and then she'll go.
Like 3 weeks. Oh, I don't even know what she loves.
So what happens to the curvature of the curve as f is moved further away from the circle? So as f moves away from the circle, what happens to our curve? Well, I happen to have, oh good, I've done this multiple times.
Does it get like skinny and narrow?
Okay, so here's mine from today. And here's one that I had done previously. So notice that on this first one, yeah, as f moves further away, because so on here, here's my circle and here's my f. They're really close together. And this curve is kind of skinny. Here, I put f a little further from my circle, and she's kind of widened out a little bit.
I don't think I finished tracing my circle. I couldn't tell. So I think
So,
mine came a little short.
So what do you put?
the curve gets wider as f moves away from the circle. Look at that, writing in complete sentences and everything.
As F what?
As f moves away from the circle.
I like how you just made eye contact with me the whole time.
Her eye contact is very intense, right? Scary.
Dude, I kind of froze a little bit.
I can't help it.
I always feel like I can't look away. I'm like,
It's not intentional. It's really not.
She's like,
or like I feel like she's waiting for me like to say an answer or something, and I'm like, don't know.
Okay, so our conclusions. Points F and O are the foci of the hyperbola. Woo!
something only experienced teachers know how to do.
Going down below, baby girl.
So fill in the blanks. A hyperbola
Wait. Pronounce that again.
hyperbola?
Okay.
Foci. Right?
Correct.
Yeah.
A hyperbola is defined as all points in a plane such that the absolute value of the difference of the distances from two fixed points is a constant. The two fixed points are called foci.
La boca. That means mouth, right? La boca.
Why did they
I-
call
I'm
it
seeing
foci?
head
Why didn't they
nods.
just say, like, the focus or
You've
something?
seen
Because there are two of them. Foci is the plural form.
La boca.
Also, we did look this up in one of my other class periods. There are multiple ways to pronounce this word, so if you're looking at it and thinking I'm crazy, it's all right. There are other ways to pronounce it. That is also one.
Oh.
It's you can say either I or E, and you can have a hard C or a soft C. So it can be foci, 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 foci.
What is a soft C look like?
I'm sure it's like
Yes.
What?
Soft C makes like an S sound. Yep, let's take a look at the back.
Yes, you shouldn't have given me this
What's
thing.
it?
Yeah.
Making watermarks now.
Okay, so we have our equations for hyperbolas. Do these equations look familiar to anybody?
No.
Yeah.
They kind of look like the ones off the homework. Yes. The only difference between the equation of a hyperbola and the equation of an ellipse is that now we are subtracting. Hyperbolas subtract.
Rachel, did Lauren get a show up today? I don't know. Okay.
Okay, so the instructions on this next part are incredibly obtuse. That's a good word for it. They're not clear in the least.
It's obtuse, not clear. Okay.
It's one of the definitions. Yeah. So they tell us to draw diagonals on our hyperbola as shown in the figures on the opposite side. But the figures on the opposite side show putting in your inner rectangle. We don't have any information to be able to create such things. So instead, this is what we're going to do. So hopefully we all already have this axis of symmetry going through OF. So if you haven't yet, make a fold through OF so that your hyperbola folds over on itself.
Wait, is this supposed to be exactly the same?
Should be fairly close.
Yeah, I did this wrong.
And then you can fold it, or should be able to fold this, the other direction so that one curve lies on top of the other. And we're going to crease there.
You have one curve?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Might want to use the restroom quick.
When Brooklyn comes back. Where those two folds intersect is my center. And my center, as always, is HK.
This is so scuffed.
We do it to where they're on top of each other? The F and F?
Yes.
Oh my God. What?
Your center is where your two axes of symmetry overlap or intersect.
And what is that label called?
HK.
That's a subset.
So then to create your asymptotes, if you just take your straight edge, you need to cross through the center and it needs to approach but not touch either side of your curve. It's okay. Hold on. Because we're going to do this twice. So. Okay. So I'm going to take my ruler. It's going to pass through the center. And I want it to approach but not touch my curve, top and bottom.
And it's a dotted line, right?
I am doing a dotted line to remind myself that on an actual graph, I would not be able to see it. It's an invisible line.
Do we do the same with this then?
Yes, so you have two of them.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Oh, I really didn't do this right. That's okay though. We learn from our mistakes, right?
There you go. Okay, so now we're going, I'll give you guys a second. Sorry. Try not to move too fast.
Oh my God.
Okay. The distance from the center to our vertices is A. So our vertices are going to be where our curve meets that axis of symmetry, and this distance is A. So from the center to either vertex is A.
How many of these comics have we done?
This is the third.
We didn't do the second one, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I was out that day, and so I gave you guys copies of that one.
I think I've only done one.
I wasn't here for the first.
This is gonna be a fun test.
The distance from the center to a focus is C. So from the center to my focus is C.
What about to the other vertices? Oh wait, is it equal?
Yes, the distance from the center to either vertex is equal. And the distance from the center to the foci is equal. Okay.
That's okay.
So now place your hyperbola so that it is horizontal.
I look so weird.
If the coordinates of the center are h, k, what are the coordinates of the vertices? Well, if this is running horizontal, what can you tell me about these 2 points? What do they have in common?
They're on the same y-axis.
Good. They have the same y coordinate, which means my x coordinate is going to change by a value of a because that's the length in between them. So my vertices are at h plus or minus a, k. So then what about going from the center to a focus is a distance of c. So what's going to be my coordinate point there?
It's gonna be c distance.
Okay.
So c.
So h plus or minus c. Okay. Because everything is on that same horizontal line.
Where are you writing this? The first one?
Yes.
Okay. This is cool. Like just a little bit. I like knowing how things work.
I know you do. I thought you'd like this activity. So now, if I turn this hyperbola vertical, what can you tell me about the coordinate points for my vertex and my center? What's true now?
They're on the same x-axis.
Good, they're on the same x line. So my coordinates are going to be x. No, they're not. H, and then k plus or minus a, because now my y coordinate is changing by a distance of a. And the same thing is going to be true for my focus. Now it's my y coordinate changing by a distance of c. So that's going to be h, k plus or minus c.
Oh, and that's why we do the things.
Yes. Okay, so fill in the information at the bottom of this page. You will definitely want it for your test next week.
Will we be able to use these notes in the test?
Yes.
That's what's up.
As long as all of the Creating Conics papers that we have done, including, for those of you who weren't here last week, the ones that I gave you copies of from Creating Conics number 2, you will be able to use on your 6 weeks exam.
Whenever I took the test, I did not get a copy of the Creating Conics. Usually I come like after school. Do that.
Let's see.
You think I can still come after school or tutor?
Okay, so horizontal hyperbola. Oh,
Oh, I have the second one. I need the first one.
oh, you need the first one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then yeah, you'll have to come by because I'll have to
Okay.
scrounge one up.